Meta Madness, Group C! Here we are on Haunted Mines, our first map in the best of 5 series, everybody. Washed something going up against the three-legged cat. Honestly, I don't really know what the blue team is washing here. I really don't want to know. But yeah, so we have another best of 5 in front of us. And again, if you're not familiar with the Meta Madness rules and why this tournament is special, here's a quick reminder of what Meta Madness is. So essentially, it's a tournament format that tries to make sure that players, teams have to think outside the box a little bit. So if you ever watched the Heroes of the Storm tournament or any MOBA tournament for that matter, and you thought, oh my god, it's always the same heroes, always the same champions, always the same, the meta is stale. This tournament format is designed to change all of that. This is the 7th time that we're now running it, and the way we're doing this is you have a certain amount of heroes that is banned before the games even start. So all the 10 heroes that you see down here, they are banned for the group stage. Now again, emphasis is group stage. For the playoffs, there will be more heroes that are banned, but the group stage is our warm-up, so those 10 heroes cannot be picked at all. There's a second rule, in fact, and that rule states that every hero that gets picked cannot be played again. So as you can imagine, as we're continuing throughout the series, going into game number 2, 3, 4, and 5, all of a sudden less and less heroes are available, which forces the teams to think outside the box a little bit and to really come in with some cool ideas and see how this is going to work out for them. And maybe there's a couple of picks that you can't play these days because there's a certain counter picks available, but all of a sudden they become viable again, and so on and so forth. So it makes this tournament pretty special, and everybody that watched Group A and Group B already, that knows that, of course. We have 16 teams this time, and this is the first time in Meta Madness that we actually opened it up to the public, so anybody could sign up for the tournament. We have 4 groups, and the top 2 out of each group will advance to the playoffs. Now, obviously, that also means, by definition, that we're going to have some pretty significant skill gaps between some of the teams in the group stage. So you will see a few storms, but even those have so far been proven to be pretty funny and entertaining to watch because of the special rules. But we also had a huge amount of 5-mappers, actually way more than I expected. So yeah, definitely looking to forward to see what's happening here today. Now on the side of Washed Something, we got Mirrodin, we got Rega and Sylvanas. So in game number 1, as you can tell, the draft is still, I want to say, fairly normal. 10 heroes being banned out, they have an impact, but it's nothing too crazy yet. And to make the first map a little bit more interesting, we actually predetermined the first map as well. So in this case, we're playing Haunted Mines. Haunted Mines is technically not part of the map pool, so the players cannot pick it themselves. The same is also true for Hanamura and for Blackheart's Bay. But one of those 3 maps will always be the starting map, just to make it a little bit more interesting. So yeah, with that we're heading into game number 1 in just a second, but also, while we're at it, another big shout out to everybody that is supporting me on Patreon. This tournament and the previous ones would not have been possible without the Patreon support. The sad truth is, Blizzard doesn't care about this game anymore. Investors, sponsors are very difficult to get, so organizing tournaments like this is not easy and nearly impossible without community support, and we've now been able to do this multiple times because of people supporting me over at patreon.com/Khaldor. Also, throughout the past couple of weeks, we had more people supporting over there. If you would join those, then check it out. There's a link in the video description if you watch it on YouTube, or you can head directly to patreon.com/Khaldor. And as I said, we are using a lot of that to just make tournaments happen, to make sure that the esports scene here doesn't die, and this is one of the results. So big shout out to everybody that helps out over there. This tournament here wouldn't be possible without you, so thanks guys. We get a sniper composition, as it turns out. So Varian and Stukov. And Medivh immediately has a counter pick on the other side. So whenever you now come in with a taunt and you try to drop some burst damage on the target, Medivh can really start to screw things up. Malthael in addition to it. Definitely interesting for Haunted Mines. Haven't seen any globals yet. Bans have been focusing on Overwatch heroes. Always a good idea. And Drag here, last but not least, he needs to be the one that gets some extra damage in. Maiev is nice, but she's not strong enough. And it is Cassius that we're starting off with. These are, by the way, probably the two strongest teams in the group. So let's see what's going to happen here. Haunted Mines, everybody. Game number 1, Group C of Meta Madness. Haunted Mines, the first map between Washed Something and the three-legged cats. And well, here we are. On the left side, in blue, we got one of the fan favorites. We got Hazobs over here. On Sylvanas, we got Yasuo and Rega. Bad Benny on Mirrodin, Copenhagen on Malthael, and Nick aka Hans is playing Medivh. To the right side of the map, Drek here with Cassia. For the cats, we got Zero on Maiev, Hiraz on Urel, No Game No Life on Varian, and Captain Rex is playing Stukov. So, off we go. We got our first game, and as I already mentioned in the draft, these two teams, I mean, honestly, if you're familiar with the European scene, you should know both of them. Washed Up, or in this case, Washed Something, obviously. Ooh, what an epic and unique Mount Benny! Ah, always good for a surprise, that man. I love it. I like it. Riding into battle in style. It's so unique. It's so epic. So much epicness. So much wow. Whew. Spicy. But yeah, so the blue team you should know, and if you've been following any of the tournaments that happened over the last 2 years, you probably have seen the cats as well. So these teams are supposed to be the two that get out of Group C. Now, crazy things can always happen, and yep, there's already a first kill up against Medivh, so Nick not off to a good start here. Crazy things can always happen, have happened a lot in Meta Madness already, and of course with the special rules it's even more likely that we're seeing some craziness evolve right here. The cats obviously are aiming for the #1 spot, but who knows, maybe someone else is going to make it out of the group here. For now though, we have a little bit of pressure play down at the bottom of the map. Mines have not been opened up yet. Once that the lower level is opened up, likely we're going to see some plays for the golem here. But the important part to note is that Sylvanas was actually taken by Washed Something. And Sylvanas on this map is insanely powerful because you can pretty much ignore the golem if you want to and instead just go for your own push. So while your opponent is maybe going for skulls at the bottom level, you can push and take structures down, and then even if they walk away with 100% golem and you don't get anything, you will probably trade pretty well into them. So yeah, that's a big thing here. Either way, we gotta keep our eye on that. For now, it's just carnage on the camp. Mirrodin taken down, so he's eliminated. And now they're making a move for Copenhagen. Ian, he is also dead. So that leaves us with 3 kills to 0 in favor of the cats. So the cats are already starting things off here with a little of a bang. Me likey. And the favorite in blue, they gotta wait a little bit. Level 10 is obviously going to change things. The objective is going to offer a few more tactical options. But this is definitely a very good start for the team in red as they are pulling ahead with 3 kills. Get the early level 4. Small lead in the experience. And also some structural damage that they are already getting through at the top lane as they're breaking through the side wall. We got the taunt in now on level 4. That was obviously given. Medivh might have died once earlier, but that was so early in the game that he didn't lose any significant number of stacks. Now he's sitting at 14, so he is slowly getting back there. We got them with the Raven Familiar on level 4. And the red team has made their way down into the mines for skulls. And this is where I am curious what Hazobs is going to do with Sylvanas. Because honestly, I expected them to try and go onto a lane and execute a bit of a push the second that they see that the red team is busy in the mines. But they're not doing that at all. They keep Sylvanas at the top side, but they also have some problems down here where Copenhagen is fully isolated in his attempt to get them at least some skulls. And he gets killed. And therefore, little value has been had here by them. Instead, what we're getting is a 4th kill for the cats. They are half a level ahead. They are behind in skulls, so there's that. But I still like the position that they're in right now. Now, there's an additional pumpkin camp that is being fought over by the blue team. We have now also... Oh, there's the portal. Alright, let's see what they can do with that. They can grab this one, move away, and they're fine. Now, portal control is going to become important as the game continues, and Stukov can, with a good lurking arm, at least make things a bit more difficult for Washed Something when they're trying to engage with the portal into the team fight. So Captain Rex really needs to be on point with this. We're also going to keep our eye on Medivh just in general to figure out if he's able to get this level 1 or the baseline quest completed, or if he's going to get killed before that happens. Yeah, with level 7 we now get the Lionheart, and they're trying for another kill on Copenhagen, and he's not looking good over here. He might make it out, but I doubt it. Oh, close. Copenhagen alive, wasting their time. That was actually a pretty sick escape. Nicely done by him. A lot of good dodge efforts by him too. So yeah, Dodge City, Mea Malthael. And now they have their own level 7, which gives us the purification, and we now also have the festering wounds. Nobody has made a move for the golem yet, but yeah, that was still pretty well done by Malthael. And of course now, still 4 kills. 20 stacks, by the way, for Medivh. Just saying, bit of a side note here. I would assume that the red team is not really too happy that they weren't able to get the kill top side. Here on the money pig. Me likey. Best mount in the world. 100%. A piece of bacon that shits doubloons. Like, what else do you want? What else would you possibly need? But level 10 is going to change things quite significantly, I would assume. That's usually where all of the coordination starts to kick in, where you really have to prove that the early game wasn't just a fluke. Medivh is still working on his additional stacks, and so far Nick is doing well. He's sitting at 25, so he needs another 15 to complete it. Cassia not stacking on level 1. So nothing here for her. We have her currently with the charged strikes. But not really a whole lot of kills coming through just yet for the cats after level 4. So of course he got some. But they're not really capitalizing on this little sniper composition of theirs as much as I thought they would try to. Now Benny, of course, zoning as best he can, gets the Stormbolt in against Varian, makes sure that nobody can get close enough to him to launch that taunt. But in the meantime, we got, yeah, still the top taking a little bit of damage. Level 10 is getting closer and closer. And the cats have to ask themselves the question what they really want to do with level 10. They got the earlier talents, so they can maybe go for the golem. They can maybe push a wall down. In this case, they're making at least a play for a pumpkin camp, and the blue team is obviously not going to engage into this, since the window is just too small. But now that you have your heroics, do you actually capitalize on it? There's a taunt on Muradin, but we already have the portal out. Nicely done by Medivh. They are pressuring at the bottom of the map a bit though. And I like that. So take that tower down, and the pumpkins might even get some damage in on the fort itself. Depends a bit on Sylvanas, and she's already stopping them cold right from the get-go. But yep, level 10 is there. The cats are looking for an angle. Can't find it right now. They try with another taunt on Muradin, but once again, Medivh is ready. And he's only 2 stacks away from his quest completion. Super close, and here come their own heroic abilities. So Medivh, 1, gets the ley line out, and there's the quest completed for Nick Rega with a self-ancestral. And everybody's just trying to get out here, but a good tether for Maiev as they're attempting to turn it again. Rega gets wrecked. The dog gets kicked and is down. PETA has been informed. Don't you worry. Oh, sayonara, baby. Easy kill right there. Muradin is jumping back out, but it seems that Benny might still fall. And he survives thanks to Nick. Look at Medivh ruining plays again. All day, every day. Yep, nicely done. They're trying to go for Hazu. Ooh, that disc was absolutely on point. That should be the end of her. Yeah, Hazu's dead. Maiev is doing it herself. Now we got 6 kills to 1, so still another kill lead for the cats. They're just doing better in these fights. I mean, it's a little bit more drawn out, and there's always the potential for the blue team to turn it, as they're now trying against Varian. But generally speaking, I gotta give some credit to the red team. They're doing a good job here. Portal is out again! Medivh gets bounced around like a domino! What? What exactly happened there? Did he get slapped? Like, that looked a little bit weird. So yeah, Medivh dies, and it all happened in this little scenario here. So what exactly happened there? The tether after the portal was of course in, but how did he... Ah, yeah, the slaps, okay, from Stukov. So they absolutely zoned him away. Now the golem has been taken, and with 7 kills to 2, there's now the chance to finally push also a little bit from the side of the blue team. So yeah, they're doing their thing. But yeah, that was actually pretty nicely done. The way that they controlled Medivh when he made his way through all of that. So good for them. Medivh is such an asshole as a hero. Like, every single time you work hard for any kind of kill, Medivh comes in and just ruins your play. Like, you work half the day, and then Medivh just comes in with a shield and a portal and snacks it away from you. That nearly got me in trouble, or it kind of got... It didn't really get me in trouble, but it nearly got me in trouble with Blizzard one time too. So in case you're not familiar with that story, it was actually kind of interesting. So you gotta imagine, like, I'm commentating with Tim, right, with Trixler, and we're commentating HGC, and exactly the same thing that you see here is happening. They chase a kill, Medivh comes in the last seconds, and as it happens, it was actually Hanzo back then, as Varian gets killed. Nice push here at the bot lane by the blue team. So yeah, Hanzo with Medivh comes in back then, and he ruins all the efforts of the opposing team and just drops in the last second after they've been chasing that kill for at least a minute. He flies in, drops the shield, drops the portal, saves the day, and the other team is just super mad about it, and they're just sitting there just like, this can't be real. And Tim is talking. I'm thinking here, all right, I wanna now talk about how Medivh is just an asshole. But I know I can't say asshole because, hey, we're in the US, right? And we have to all play that kindergarten game where people cannot hear bad words anymore. So I'm thinking, what can I say that conveys the message, but I don't use the word asshole so nobody gets offended? And I got a word in my head, and I'm just like, all right, this is low-key insult. This is pretty much like calling somebody a donkey. This is totally fine. I'm very proud of myself at that moment. So Tim is done with what he was talking about, and I just reiterate the exact same thing that I just explained. And I was like, Medivh is such a douchebag. And for me, douchebag isn't even an insult. I've been in Korea, and people throw that around like it's basically an endearing term. You go over to UK, you hear the same thing. Douchebag doesn't even register as an insult. And I am insanely pleased with myself. Like, you have absolutely no idea. I'm like so smug about it because I'm thinking, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking like, damn, great job, Khaldor. Well done. Nobody is going to get annoyed about that. We finished the broadcast and I have two Blizzard employees standing there looking at me, both shaking their head, and they're like, both, dude, you can't say that! And I was like, what? And they're like, dude, you can't say that on a broadcast. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And that was the moment when I learned that for Americans, the word douchebag is apparently way worse than calling him an asshole. So, yeah, that's that. Talking about ass. Oh, dodge it, baby! But, well, Marthail still gets the kill. Alright, nicely done. Gets a double kill too as he drops Stukov as well. But yeah, the last ride was so nicely dodged by Maiev that I really thought she might just be able to survive through all of that. But then Copenhagen, who's been bossing them around already topside as he dodged the kill earlier, has now come in with the second stack for his ult, so he's sitting at a cooldown reduction of 10. Yeah, and in the meantime, it seems like the blue team has really caught the momentum train, haven't they? They are pushing topside now. Sylvanas is obviously helping with that. They get a kill on Cassia. Jump in again. Varian is in trouble as well. And that is the end of the frontliner of the Cats. So the fort is exposed. The one at the bot lane has obviously been destroyed by the golem earlier, as we saw here on screen. And now as the mines open up, they are immediately moving down to the lower grounds and starting to work on those skulls again. So yeah, job well done. A lot of momentum now for the blue team. They're doing their best here. Red team is trying to recover a little bit. They obviously need to get level 16 first. And, well, now we got 32,000 for Cassia, 40,000 for Medivh. Medivh leading the charts in the game. So, yeah, nicely done. I mean, it's actually kind of impressive. Nick is playing damage Medivh at this point. Raven Familiar is helping him a bit here, but yeah, he is definitely doing a great job on this one. And now that they were able to do so much here in the lower levels of Haunted Mines, they were able to get themselves to 88, 90 skulls. So we are talking about a big boy now that is traveling top lane. And since both of the forts have been destroyed, whew, that is gonna be one spicy push. Yeah, very curious to see how they're going to play this one out now. Because this is going to be... Yeah, look at this. I like it. The idea behind this is actually pretty cool. If they catch Rhaegar here, if they are able to come in and take him down, then this would have been the best defense scenario for them. Since, I mean, it would have helped them so much. But yeah, it's not happening. So what we're seeing instead is just the 5-man of the blue team moving in, looking for quick kills. The golem is already on the march, and there's a siege giant camp as well that is coming through with it. So yeah, they're diving after my F. Huge problems. Big damage also from Malthael. And there's the last ride, and goodbye. Varian is dead again. 15-second cooldown reduction by now for Malthael. They're jumping in with and out with the portal. More damage for Medivh, the familiar, of course. And with Sylvanas, they can easily destroy that top lane. They're going through that fort like hot butter through cheese, as Washed Something is using Sylvanas' trade, the Golem and the Siege Giants to drop structure super quickly here. They're also dropping more or less the entire team. The only survivor is Captain Rex, and I'm not quite sure if he's going to make it. With the Stormbolt connecting, okay, he gets out, but that doesn't help them. This is definitely going to be a win in game number 1 for the blue team. Washed Something, ladies and gentlemen, with a victory here against the Cats on the first map of this best of 5 series. Nicely done. GG. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Tomb of the Spider Queen, we're ready for map number 2, Washed Something. Now I gotta say that from all of the games that we've so far seen in the group stage, this kind of looked like the most normal opening into a series. So I'm personally a little bit curious what's going to happen here, but I mean obviously it makes a whole lot of sense, right? I explained it at the beginning. These two teams are two of the teams that are more or less expected to make it out of the group. Now, crazy stuff can always happen and tends to happen in Meta Madness, but they are obviously taking this quite serious over here. It's going to be interesting to see what they can pull off with all of this. Well, as we're heading into this, also a quick note for especially the people that are watching this on YouTube. The Twitch viewers already know that. So if you guys are fans of HGC, the Heroes Gaming community, then we have actually some merch in the shop. I already said that a few months ago when we introduced the merch shop that I wasn't quite sure if people would like some stuff, but if people are interested, then we're going to do more. That's exactly what we did. So we have actually put some HGC merch onto the shop. So if you're a fan of the Heroes Gaming community, if you want to be part of the Heroes Gaming community and show loud and proud that you still believe in Heroes of the Storm, then you can check it out over there. Even I don't have mine yet. I still have to order my own shirt, and I also want one of those mugs. There's still a debate going on if the red color coordinated handle with the logo is the best or the black version. I think I'm probably going to aim for the red one, but if you haven't seen it yet, there's a link in the video description and you can check it out right there. But yes, we finally have some additional merch over here, and I think it's pretty cool. So if you at any point make it to one of the offline events that we have planned for the year, you should definitely make sure that you get one to represent the Heroes Gaming community, HGC. Lucio. Okay, so we got Lucio immediately locked in as a pick. They banned all of the Overwatch heroes in the last draft. Now they're going to go for it again. So, yeah, and we get a Tracer. Talking about Overwatch, I mean, literally the first 3 picks are Overwatch heroes. That is one way to deal with it. Lucio in the house. And again, in case you forgot, the 10 heroes that were played on the first map, they're not available anymore. So technically, you now have 20 heroes banned before we're entering the draft, and then the additional 6 that are eliminated through the draft bans themselves. But yeah, let's have a look over towards the red team as they're going for Greymane and Dehaka. I mean, we are on Tomb of the Spider Queen right now, so with Junkrat you have great interrupt potential. The damage is set from the get-go. Nick is going to try and zip between the lanes to get the kills in, but Junkrat can definitely ruin your day if you're attempting to turn your gems in. Whereas on the other side you have Lucio. He can to an extent do the same, also speeds up the rotations between the lanes, so that's good as well. But yeah, Dehaka gets his AoE in. And Tychus. Every single time in Meta Madness when I see a Tychus ban and a Leo ban, I'm immediately thinking Cho'Gall. It's actually crazy at this point. And to be fair, Cho'Gall was played how many times now in Group A and Group B? In total 4 times or so? So maybe even more than that. But yeah, Malthael has been played, Leo has been banned, Tychus has been banned. I would have banned Cho'Gall if I'm the Cats, just to be on the safe side. There is, of course, Greymane, and you can hit the bullet, but yeah. I don't think this is a Cho'Gall draft. You already have Junkrat, you already have Tracer, but when I see bans like this, alarm bells are just ringing all over the place. So most likely that's not the reason why they banned the 2 of them out. But yeah, If they would go for Cho'Gall, that would be too much, because you have 3 damage dealers, you have Gall, Junkrat, Tracer. Like, how do you round that draft out? That would be a bit bananas. So they're going into Rexa and into Deckard Cain instead. It would have been funny if now all of a sudden it's the cats that take Cho'Gall. Now their draft doesn't really cater perfectly to that either, but since all of the percentage damage has been taken, it would have been hilarious. And who knows, maybe they're thinking about it, but I think it's too soon. These guys are definitely all trying pretty hard. So yeah. Stitches and Tassadar, alright. Stitches and Tassadar are both in, and that leaves us with Benny as the final pick of the blue team. So we still need a frontliner. We got, of course, Rexa, but we need a little bit more. So what's it gonna be? With Stitches taken, Tassadar for the isolation, I assume. And then the drag from the Hogger. And Benny goes for Deathwing. Alright! Okay, kind of intrigued. We got apparently Misha, frontline. Misha, Rexa, Deathwing. That's going to be the lineup. Game number 2. Best of 5 series. The first best of 5 in Group C of the Meta Madness group stage. Let's go. Tumor Spider Queen. Game number 2, the blue team is still washing something. Hanzo is playing Junkrat, Bad Benny on Deathwing. We got Nick on Tracer, Yasuo on Deckard Cain, and Copenhagen is playing Rexa. To the right side of the map, the Cats with 0 on Greymane. We got Erath on Dehaka. No Game, No Life is playing Stitches in game number 2. We have Captain Rex on Lucio, and Drakir is playing Tassadar for the team, looking for the damage. And Stitches hasn't taken anything yet. Now, Stitches is usually going for the Patchwork Creation, but on this map you can actually go for Hungry for More if you wanted to. Back in the day, in one of the previous, was Meta Madness 3-4, we actually had Stitches played with Hungry for More on this map, ending up with a hit point pool of 13,000-14,000 in some of the games, played by Stork back then for one of the Russian teams. So, in this case, it's standard picks though, Patchwork Creation from him. So, nothing crazy. We also got the Molten Blood now for Deathwing on the side of Bad Benny, and the Tracer rounds for Nick. Obviously, this map, the lanes are pretty far together. It's a fairly small map, generally speaking, and that empowers easy rotations, fast rotations, and offers a lot of gank potential, especially if you have a hero like Lucio in your lineup. Immediately the wall, by the way, after Stitches throws out the hook. So oftentimes you will see Malfurion played with Stitches just so you get the root follow-up after a hook is being thrown out. If you're trying to play it out with Tassadar, then it's the walls that you're relying upon to just block the hero's path. Camps are immediately being claimed. Now obviously falling a little bit behind initially. It's not really great, but yeah, the red team was off to a good start on the first map. They just couldn't maintain it throughout the mid game when level 10 abilities kicked in. Bit of scouting is already happening here, and Misha is also getting attacked and hooked as well. Ooh. Poor Misha. Yeah, barely made it into the game to begin with, and then already a death. That is unfortunate to say the least. Honestly, they should take level 10 for Misha. If you take the Bestial Wrath, Misha pretty much turns into Cocaine Bear. I can't say that I have seen the movie, but just that the movie exists in the first place is kind of hilarious, to be honest. So yeah, it was inspired by Misha. Somebody picked Bestial Wrath on level 10 and then upgraded on 20, and that inspired Cocaine Bear. So the rumor, at least. So yeah. Gets hooked again! Unbearable, seriously. Like, insane. So, no game, no life with the Stitches, just getting one hook in after another here. And it's rough going. They're actually going for a pretty hefty push. Oh, get wrecked. That's 10. 10 that they lost, at least some of them. Heroes grabbed, of course, some of the gems after they were lost. But that was a really nice play by Junkrat. And now they're also going for a second kill. Goodbye. Tracer is dead too. Oof. That's a double kill for the blue team right as the game starts. Alrighty. Yeah, with level 4 we now also got the playtime and we got the off the wall. Down at the bottom of the map, 25 for Erath. And here in the Benjamin Blümchen move. So, full in for the blood. I gotta say I'm a little bit happier with the green skin here instead of the chicken skin, so that you don't turn Deathwing into an oversized turkey. But it's not really that great, right? I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's better than nothing. I've seen worse. I've seen worse from a lot of them, actually. Blue team is working on the first turn-in. They want the objective. They nearly have the gems together they need for it. Haven't lost the hero yet. The opponent lost a couple. Some were recovered, some weren't. But already damage done against the structures, against the walls. It's not only the mid wall that has suffered, but down at the bottom they lost the tower and part of the gate as well. So, yep, that's problematic once the web weavers are on the ground. There's always the potential then to take a fort down with the first wave. And the more they are damaging the bot lane here, the more realistic that becomes. So, yeah, this is looking quite good. Now, in the meantime, we have no level 7 talent yet for the cats. And look at this. Tracer is diving in deep to try and kill Drag here. 0 on Greymane, also fairly low. So they're really putting the pressure on right now. I mean, it's getting a bit bonkers. Washed Something at the 4-minute mark is already pushing them back very heavily. Is destroying structures at the front of the mid and the bot lane. And is now turning in with their first set of web weavers so that they can try and take these forts down. That's a very, very dangerous spot for the cats to be in. They are struggling a bit here. Especially if Wash Something is able to take a few forts down and extend that lead in experience. They could even snowball this to an early level 10. And first we have Greymane burned to a crisp by Deathwing. Oh boy, yeah, easy kill right there. Deathwing gets it, 3 kills to 0. Now they're an entire level ahead, and I would assume that that gap is going to be increased as the push continues. And just look at how aggressively they're now moving in. 4 stitches, another kill, more gems lost, and they are losing ground on all 3 lanes. The mid lane fort is going to be destroyed by the web weavers down at the bottom of the map. We could see a similar situation since Misha is pushing together with Rexa, and Dracula is not going to survive this either. So that's 5 kills to 0. Guys, they're locking in level 10 with this. This is going to be an absolutely devastating push by Washed Something. They're going to take all 3 forts here with the first objective that they claim in this game. That's kind of nuts. So, yep, we have 5 kills to 0, more than a level lead, heroic abilities are in, and the world's their oyster. They could, at this point, really, I mean, they could pretty much do whatever they want. Go for the boss? Sure, why not? Try for another turn in? Nah, no issue. Maybe push in the middle? Also possible. It's a big gap. And they have 44 gems already, so they're very close to getting another turn in. Especially if they're now focusing on the mid and the bot lane for the additional gems that they need for it. But even just trying to force a fight here would be great. If they can get a kill... I mean, look at Dehaka, for example. He has 39 stacks. If you take him down, then you know you are in a dominant position. They already are. But that would... I don't want to say seal the deal, but... yeah, if you lose more than half your gems here, that would be crazy. Now, we have 23,000 damage for Tracer. Nick has been crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. Fantastic plays by him thus far. And they are pushing in the middle again with the camp that they just got. Obviously has a lot of damage, but they got Kane again with a nice setup. As he's hoping to not only stop the push, but also maybe help the team to get a kill. The Hogger, he's trying, but not getting too much done here. And of course, these gems are now in the hands of the blue team, meaning that they can try that turn-in that I've been talking about. Going for turn-in number 2. Heroic abilities are available on both sides now. And off we go. We got the bullet in, we got Gorge. Top side, somebody has to at least deal with that double wave. And down here at the bottom of the map, Copenhagen. Oh, 2 gems. What a hero. What a chat. Look at him. 2 gems turn in value. Absolute value. That's a round of applause for Copenhagen. Is he turning in 1? I think that's where he draws the line. He draws the line at 1 gem. It's just like, yeah, guys, I'm sorry. 2 gems, I mean, totally worth it. 1 gem, nah, not really. But yeah, Copenhagen beasting it. Every gem counts. Every gem counts. So yeah, they get the second turn in. Actually, they don't. It's the red team that snuck theirs in with the Haka. But since level 13 is there for the blue team now, this is honestly one of the best scenarios for Washed Something. Think about it. They got a talent advantage for the defense. What more do you want? Doesn't really get much better than that. You're 2 levels ahead of your opponent, so stats are already in your favor. Just the base stats alone. And then in addition to that, you lock in a talent advantage over them, which makes it very uncomfortable for the red team to force a fight. So they buy themselves a little bit of time and space since the web weavers are pushing these lanes back. But yeah, it is a bit rough. Tacita, well, that's a kill. Goodbye. Lucio is dead again. Draco is just trying to get out of here at this point. Yeah, he's done goofing around. So is Benny as he flies in. Tacita is dead, killed by the man with the mask. Warum hast du eine Maske auf? Warum liegt hier Stroh in der Ecke? Okay, so, and Stitches dies too. All killed by the man with the mask. I'm Batman. Okay. 8 kills to 0. They could make this a perfect game. They could honestly make this a perfect game here. And they're going for boss too. So that's a 2-level lead. And now we're at it. The old man trying to hit it with the stick. 15 stacks for the level 4 talent on Rexa. And I guess the red team knows what's happening, but how do you stop that? And the answer is you basically don't. Now Copenhagen turned in again. And that's already Web Weavers descending, and now they're going for the double whammy with the boss that they are locking in here. This is gonna hurt. It's really gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt a lot. And it's even gonna hurt more if they are able to now get a kill too. So there's a stun, there's the follow-up, and Tacita and Stitches are both... Oh my god, Tacita and Stitches are both dead. Trace at least got killed, but I think she's gonna be avenged since they're moving in for... Oh my god, like damn, Greymane. Oof. Alright, so Greymane was able to get out of there, but still. This is gonna hurt one way or another. It's still a 4 versus 3. They got a numbers advantage. They got Web Weavers. They got the boss. How are you gonna stop this? The answer is you don't. There's at least a keep that's being lost here. No, it's a 5-man defense at least, but there's of course the level 16 talent that we need to account for too. Top keep is already losing hit points. Benny, on the other hand, is losing hit points pretty quickly too. And a great wall here by Drakia. It was an amazing wall. The wall, it was tremendous. It was the best wall. Can ask anybody, it was the best wall. Everybody says so. So the wall prevented Deathwing from getting out of there. Tacita with a good job, and well, that is the second kill for the Cats. So I guess we're not going to look at a perfect game after all. But we are definitely looking at a team that is in trouble. And with the top keep low, the mid keep destroyed, bot keep, I assume that the wall has been destroyed there too. Yep, yeah, it's rough. Now, they have 46 gems. They can work on a turn and try to get that done. But then again, if you're looking over towards the blue team, they've also been pretty diligent about turning in. They lost a few of their gems, but they still hold on to another 16. 29 have been delivered, so they are already at 45. And that's just an amazing spot for them to be in. Especially given the level 16 talent that they are still running over their opponent. Now we get Hanzo at the top lane, pushing this out a bit further, just making it more tricky for the red team to react to anything happening in the middle, because they need to send somebody back to deal with this. If the minions push onto the keep, this thing is going to get destroyed pretty quickly. 40,000 damage by now on the side of Tracer. But yeah, 7 gems, another 12. Riptire is out. Can they get something done here? They're trying. Misha gets hooked again and uses that immediately to stun out the Hogger. Now I like that little move. That was kind of cool. But they need to do a bit more with this, I guess. And now that they're pushing around at the bottom of the map, Tacita is still sitting topside, by the way. Okay. There it is. And it's going to be a keep. They're going to take this one down. Level 16 is slowly coming for the Cats, but not quickly enough to help them defend this bot lane structure. So that's 2 lanes now where you have continuous catapult pressure. Don't forget that there hasn't been a single fort destroyed on the left side. So yeah, they have catapults coming in with every single wave now on 2 lanes, and the third one is probably going to get the same treatment pretty soon. Yeah, this is a bit dangerous now. That was a great hook on the other hand. Long distance hook against Deckard Cain. And that is the old man biting the dust. Alright. Deckard is dead. Yeah. He got decked. And now we got Tracer. Maybe in trouble? No, they're still fine. Unless you get hit by another hook, they're going to be completely fine here. It's only 5 gems that are needed for the blue team to get a turn-in themselves, by the way. And stop the turn-in of the red team. And they are extremely close to it. Benny needs to turn in and Hanzo has a gem. They, of course, have to wait for Deckard Cain. But as long as they can also maybe push some of these lanes out. Oh, nice. Well done. So now with Junkrat gone, the turn-in is definitely possible for the red team. Now, what is that tournament actually going to do? Because you are looking at 2 lanes that are pressuring your base, your core, and 1 at the top. These will have to travel a long time before they can do any significant damage. Getting Junkrat back in time to help defend these forts shouldn't be a problem. And the fuck? Nick comes in and gets the kill against Lucio? Going 1v4 at this point? I mean, damn, son. That shouldn't have happened. Uh-oh. The red team now lost their support just as they're attempting to get some value from a Weaver Wave. Yeah. Good luck with that. That, on the other hand, me likey. So they're really just fighting back. Rexa is trying to buy some time, faking his death again, and you know what? It's actually working. They're killing Tacita. It's a bait. It was a trap all along. And now they're coming in, killing, I guess, Greymane first, but Stitches is also pretty low. They might even be able to go for him. They can definitely take their top keep now, and they should be able to go for the core, honestly. You have to, of course, I mean, they should most likely deal with the Web Weavers regardless. But this is a great position for them to be in. Washed Something, they are the favorites in this group, and they are also one of the top 3 contenders to win the entire tournament. So they are doing exactly what you would expect them to do. They are dominating the games against a strong opponent. The Cats, they're struggling here. And the blue team showing no mercy. 72,000 damage now for Tracer. Another kill. That's 15 kills, 2-4 as they go for the core. And they lock in a second victory in the best of 5 series against the Cats. Nicely done and well played. Washed Something pulls ahead with a 2-0. Towers of Doom, next map in the series. 20 heroes are not available anymore because they've been played already. We have 10 heroes that are banned for the group stage and another 6 to be eliminated in the draft itself. So now we're slowly entering a pretty interesting territory within the match. But Washed Something, clearly from the get-go, they came in and they said, okay, we are going to crush this. We're going to speedrun this a little bit as best as we can and try and make sure that we're getting out of the group without showing anything either. We get a Kerrigan ban, Vikings get banned out. It makes a whole lot of sense, but on Towers of Doom it's always a little bit sad when that happens. Any Viking ban, any Abyssal ban that you're ever going to see is going to make me sad, because that means that there was a chance that those heroes are being picked. But yeah, so what's the final ban here? Is there anything that they are a little bit worried about? They get rid of Inubarak. Yeah, Inubarak is out. He's a pretty big candidate for one of the stable bans, the perma bans in the playoffs. As I said before, this is the warm-up phase for Meta Madness. The real party starts when we're heading into the playoffs, when you have a lot more heroes pre-banned than that. So yeah, first pick, what are we getting? How are they starting things up with this time? Okay, that escalated quickly. That escalated very quickly.
Hail to the king, baby.
Oh boy. So now you can play that with Samuro if you want to cheese a little. I mean, there is so much that you can do with this. You can play a Jaina with it and just go for a traditional double burst damage. You could play it with Samuro and be insanely cheesy about it. Cho'Gall, there is so much stuff that you can do now. Tyrael and Falstad are being played. If this was a different map, I would say they're playing a backdoor combo, but I think that's unlikely unless they are trying to backdoor some bell towers. Now, we have a Zeratul Abath. I mean, that's disgusting. It's like right from the start. That's absolutely disgusting. Oh boy. And of course, with Zeratul, even if your opponent would like to backdoor, which I guess we are not going to see as Towers of Doom after all, but even if you would have a composition like that, you could always go VP and slow them down. That's actually what teams in the past have done in order to stop it. Just a little bit as a side note, not that it's going to matter here. Melganis for the front. But yeah, this is already fun. Abathar Zeratul is honestly, it's disgusting as hell. Was played with Brightwing a whole lot in the past, because what you would pretty much do is you would move Zeratul to a lane, have him in a bush, and then attack. Brightwing would immediately jump in with a global and polymorph, and then you have Abathar also assisting, and you turn essentially a 1v1 into a 3v1 within a second. So yeah, super, super powerful. Brightwing obviously permabanned for the tournament. So that's not going to be a thing here. There's that Jaina ban. So again, Abathar with a copy on Jaina would have been a traditional burst comp, but now that you also have Zeratul, you're a little bit worried about your opponent setting up a wombo combo as well, where you have a VP coming into a Ring of Frost. So it's a really good ban considering what has been taken on the side of the cats, and Washed Something is definitely not being caught out here. With Falstad, you have a global, Tyrael, very, very good tank. Could be played also as an assassin on the side, which is what Nick has done in the past in a lot of tournaments in the last year. But given that they're now locking Zul in and Kharazim, it becomes a bit less likely. So, could still be happening, but a lot less likely now. We're probably going to look at an additional damage dealer for them. Now, we got a double pick. And yeah, what are we now getting as, first of all, the healer, but also we need a bit more damage on the end. Tyrande and Phoenix. Alright. So we got Tyrande and Phoenix. Tyrande, yeah, has to be careful. But she gets the assist from Abathar, so yeah. I like the stun setup that we can get with Tyrande, and then with the Hunter's Mark you can get even more damage over there. Phoenix very likely going to go into a salvo, but every time I see a Phoenix, it's just so funny when he was played with Murky now multiple times, and then you have an Octo Grab into the Cracker, and it's just like brrr. Here comes Imperius, Towers of Doom. The stage is set. First match point for the blue team. Can they take the series right here, right now, or are the Cats putting a point onto the board? Let's find out together. Washed Something against the Cats. We have game number 3. It's Towers of Doom on the left side. It is Hazorps on Falstad. We got Yasu on Kharazim, Copenhagen on Zul, Nick on Imperius, and Bad Benny on Tyrael. Over to the right side of the map, it's Captain Rex on Tyrande. We got Herath on Phoenix. 0 on Zeratul. Drakius playing Abathar, and No Game No Life is playing Melganis. They are pretty much playing Team Green Eyes. If you look at the portraits, there's only one that stands out, and that is Phoenix. So Phoenix is rocking more of a blue. There's a bit of an ocean blue that he has going for himself there, but outside of that, I mean, everybody else has green eyes. Coincidence? I don't think so. So, yeah. I should actually sympathize with that team because I have green eyes as well. Well, it's a gray-green. But Phoenix is the one odd man out. Then again, he kind of looks a little bit green in the face, so I guess we can let him slide. I think it's fine. He gets a pass. Hazorps seems like he's not getting a pass down here. Nope. He goes down, so he's eliminated. And that is the first blood in game number 3. The Cats opening it up with a quick kill against the birdie. They want some chicken wings, and they just dropped Falstad into the KFC basket. So, we got the Shade on level 1, so Zul is apparently trying to throw some, hasn't really worked out yet. But he's also going to be the one to rotate between the lanes and dominate the AoE, I suppose. Another kill attempt, this time against Nick. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be successful. Abathar is helping out and says hello, and that's a kill. Phoenix dies, so at least they get the counter this time. Taken down by Zul, and they are aiming for Tyrande, and the only thing that Captain Rex can do is employ the French defense and try and run away. But yeah, with Zul stopping him here, that's not a thing. So easily done, 2 kills to 2. But I like it. From the start, they are all being aggressive. I like that. A lot of action happening right from the beginning. Everybody is trying to get some kills together. Everybody is trying to be aggressive, to dominate, pull ahead in experience, get a couple of additional camps, maybe steal the opponent's pumpkin camp away. In regards to builds, we have what looks like a Might of the Nerazim build for Zeratul, very much focused in on his level 1 with the Shadow Hunter and the Psionic Strength now. Makes a whole lot of sense, obviously, with Abathur helping you out, as I already talked about in the draft a little bit. Drake rocking the Pajama Thor up at the top. And down to the bottom of the map, the party continues as both teams are, as usual, trying to dominate the bot lane. I mean, again, if you're not really all that familiar with the meta and some of the tools employed here, normally when you're looking at Towers of Doom, the bot lane is the most important. The general rule of thumb with any Heroes of the Storm map is that whichever lane has the most mercenary camps traveling through it is the most important one. That is true for Towers of Doom, that's true for Dragonshire. I mean, again, any map you name it. There's a couple of additional advantages that you have when you are now playing through the Towers of Doom, because once that you control both bell towers, these pumpkins that you can take do direct damage towards the core. But also if you control the left and right bell tower, this altar over here is very difficult to access for your opponent. Makes it super easy for yourself. And we already see some of that happening here. Nice, another kill. This time Karazim is the one that goes down. Nicely done. So we got 3 kills to 2. It seems like Captain Rex is trying to lock in the second altar for the red team, and it's working out for them. Even with Abathur on the map, they are able to pull that off. So now they're a little bit ahead in experience, a little bit ahead in core points. They also got Mule, which is going to be pretty important to hold on to these lanes just a bit longer. But I like it. Nicely done. We now have the Black Claws, and we get the combat advantage here. And another kill as Nick dies. No game, no life. Might not make it, so he goes down. But hey, I say worth. That, on the other hand, turns it a little bit. That little flank that we saw from Benny was a bit too much for Phoenix to stomach. And now he is dead as well. So Washed Something is not giving up that easily. Abathur still doesn't have his ult, which means that we are not looking at an Abathur copy yet. Tyrande still gets caught at the bottom of the map, but Tyrael went too deep for it, and Abby takes him down. So, yep, job well done. Abathur getting mad value here all over the place, and this is now resulting in a pretty good spot for them, I was about to say. And then Zeratul gets killed, but Yasuo might not survive this. So, yep. Gets punished. It's just kill for a kill. Time and time again. Abathur over here got also attacked by Nick, so Imperius was trying to aim for a kill, but couldn't quite follow through. Top side, Zul is still pushing. He's obviously the master of wave clear right now. And Abathur is doing his best to use the mule and repair all of it, but Zul does not let that one slide. Level 10 will in a moment drop into the hands of the blue team though, and they're already a little bit ahead here, but once that they have level 10 they can technically also try and see if maybe that double altar topside can completely be claimed by them. The stun missing. If not for that, Copenhagen might have been in trouble here. Falstad flying in, there's level 10, we actually get the palm now, and Judgment! Judgment is in, hasn't been used yet. Instead, we have the wall of zombies there, the skeleton thingy wall, skeleton mages. And a kill. And of course they are going for the double altar. That's actually pretty big. If you can lock in the double altar right at the start, that's always nice. 7 kills to 6. We're only 5-6 minutes into the game and we already have 13 in total. Now they are focusing down to the bottom of the map. Drakia can also contribute with a bit of a slap here if he wants to. Haven't seen it yet. But with the shots fired, it means that the blue team has now pulled ahead on core points as well. Might of the Nerazim is in, the Salvo, Ultimate Evolution. We're getting the Dark Conversion. Zeratul gets caught again, and Mal'Ganis is able to move out. Now, somebody has to deal with the bot lane, because this is doing at least some damage. It's not threatening to take the entire thing down, but you still got to be a little bit careful on that point. So, yep, the party continues over here as they're apparently trying to steal the camp away. Didn't quite work out. Even the Gust has been employed by Hanzo now as he's trying to create some extra space for the team. And off we go. Yeah, little hit right there. Careful. Had to go for the ult and for the Dark Conversion. So, No Game, No Life is doing his best in that situation to stay alive and maybe even assist the team in turning this around. Now the build and the play with Judgment here after Purge Evil, after Divine Vigor and the Ardent Restoration, I mean, it's pretty much what we've seen from Nick in the past on that hero. Yeah, they come in again with the full-on sleeper setup. Salvo, they're going for Hazu. No, there's the palm, and it gets triggered. Nicely done by Yazu. They are trying to take him down, but Zeratul has now been destroyed, and Hazu is making his way out of the fight with a quick barrel roll. There's the Judgment. In they come. No game, no life. He doesn't have his ult ready. Can't turn it around on them, so he's likely going to fall here. And the same is true for Tyrande. Karen is dead. And Phoenix dies too. So, yep, the Karen of the Storm has been annihilated, so have Mal'Ganis and Phoenix, and I guess this is going to spell the end of the bell tower at the bottom of the map. At least for now. Washed Something again on the warpath with 12 kills, 2-6. They got the level 13. Zul is already doing his thing. And in the meantime, we now have full-on damage numbers, especially for Falstad, who's sitting at 22,000. 32,000 for Phoenix. So especially with the salvo, he's been able to deliver on the numbers. The problem is, they can't get the kills in. Yeah? And they're also falling farther and farther behind here. So far, they still have 23 points on the core. But things are looking grim. They are looking for kills now very aggressively, but keep in mind that they're still behind by a talent. So, gotta be careful with this. Delivery system is there. They're trying to go... Jesus. Leave the man a chance. Stop kicking him. He's already dead. All the ults got unleashed on him after Imperius led the charge by Judgment in. They obviously were hoping to prevent Mal'Ganis' ult. So, yeah. 0 deaths on only Abathar. The Slug reigning supreme again. And on Zul, as it turns out. That's a 2-level lead now. And the more important part is obviously the 5 versus 3 bell tower situation down at the bottom of the map. Now exactly what I talked about earlier is happening. So now the pumpkins are doing direct damage to the core as they're entering the death zone. And that forces the red team to defend, at least as best they can, but that also exposes them to even more aggression. And here comes the salvo. That one was nicely set up. The palm not triggered. Hazu is alive! And the Abathar copy is gone. That could have been a beautiful kill, but with Hazu surviving, this is real bad news. They used a lot to try and take him down, and it just didn't work. Now we are about to see level 16 talents for Washed Something. They are nearly 3 levels ahead right now, and again a talent. They're doing great here. Haza's even retreated, is now coming back down to go for the altar, so he's channeling while the rest of the team is trying to survive and defend themselves here. And as soon as Haza is done with the channel and has fired the 5 shots, he can join the fun too. And they can go for Tyrande, for example. So 18 points on the core against 32. Zul at least dead, but he was able to get one of his abilities through to lock down Zeratul, and that allowed Hazu and the rest to get the kill. Got the Bone Spear now in, and even more damage with the Way of 100 Fists, and they take Phoenix down once again. Phoenix is dead, and I guess so is No Game No Life. Yes, he gets dropped. 16 kills to 7. 23 kills 10 minutes into the game. More than 2 kills a minute. Alright. Yep. That one hurts. Mule is back out again. A little bit unfortunate. I don't think they can save this one. Actually, no, it gets the value through. I was thinking it was dropped right in front of them. Maybe they actually were not in vision. I expected Falsa to move forward and just try and take it down. But now we have, with level 16, of course, a big advantage here. Damage is there. Bone Spear and Way of 100 Fist already pointed them out earlier. Reflects also in the damage numbers. Falstad, he's still at 31,000, but the top numbers have now been taken by Nick, who's at nearly 32,000 here. Phoenix, he's still pulling ahead of both of them, but he also died 4 times, and it doesn't really look like he's going to have a moment in the game where he is going to turn it for the team. Highly unlikely. Zul's siege damage, by the way, is exactly what we highlighted previously. He is the one to rotate between the lanes. he's the one to do the damage, and it makes it very difficult for the red team to control the macro. Triple altar phase is up, and with the pumpkins now moving through the bot lane, there's 3 shots fired, another 3 coming in, 5 coming through the altar over here, so you can really tell that they are in what we call in professional circles deep shit. There's only 9 points on the core, make it 7. So if you go for 1 altar and the boss, then it's lights out. And that little play here just killed the copy. So Dracula loses the copy, and I guess Mal'Ganis is also losing his life. It's washed up, some guys. Washed up. I don't even know why they renamed. But yeah, so they are looking really, really powerful here. Exactly as you would expect. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to. They're showing everybody that they still got it and that they want to win this tournament. They take down Tyrande, they take down Phoenix, they go for the boss. The core only has 2 points remaining. And this means that this is going to be the end. The first best of 5 in Group C is being won by the blue team as they lock in a clean victory against the Cats. Nicely done, well played, and congratulations to Washed Something. Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.